Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to throw some fuel onto the Ninja Turtles bonfire. The controversy over April O'Neil and the race swapping of the character, because this photograph seems to indicate that there is actually a white version of the Mutant Mayhem version of April O'Neil.
That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful. So she got de-swapped.
Was she swapped really though? Because like she's
had dark hair before. People try to argue. We'll talk about that. People try to argue she's been black before. She actually wasn't black before. She had a perm. People interpret it, since it was a black and white comic, as her being black, but she technically wasn't. Anyway, regardless of how you feel about the race swapping, this is pretty interesting. And I do have to give a hat tip to Mead the 4K, Tom Connors, who posted this and said he got the photos from someone who thinks that this might actually be an accidental Chinese version of the April O'Neil figure that slipped into American packaging.
Well, they're different angles. Like it's not like they were copied and then someone just color changed it, because they're completely different angles on the package.
Yeah, I mean, it looks legit to me. Mm-hmm. This looks legit to me. It looks like, yeah, it's a completely different angle. We'll see. So this is, I'm gonna mark this as a rumor because I cannot personally verify. But if this is the case, if there are rare white Aprils out there, oh my God, this is gonna cause a whole nother set of issues. If this is legitimate, and if it makes its way stateside, which this looks like a U.S. packaging to me. If it makes its way stateside, expect lots of howling on Twitter /X, whatever we want to call it now. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants, guys. If you do, you'll get a woohoo.
Woohoo!
So we haven't talked much about the race swapping of April O'Neil. Not the first time she's been swapped in recent media.
Right.
And again, that's a whole nother issue. However, the concept art for...
Oh my God.
The concept, yeah, she looks better. She looks better, significantly better in the final movie, right? But this was the original concept art for this version of April. And I'm sorry, this isn't even the same character. Even if you race swap the character of April O'Neil, she has always been, quote unquote, conventionally attractive. In fact, even with her perm, I think she looked kind of like a Jennifer Beals back in the day.
Yeah.
But I
just can't, that was legitimately considered.
This was the original concept art, as I understand it. Yes.
Hey.
They did change her. She looks a little bit better, but it still doesn't look like...
Why do they hate women who look like women?
Well, maybe they're going for, okay, so the original April O'Neil, she was introduced in the 1980s, and she was kind of a Lois Lane type character, right? She was
because if you're smart, you're ugly, right?
Yeah, right. So yeah, that's it. Now we're going by current year journalists. Maybe that's what they think current year journalists look like.
Some bloggers, I'm sure.
I'm sure she looks like a blogger. So anyway, that's a whole nother issue. A lot of people not real happy about it. A lot of people trying to defend it. If you go back and look, she technically wasn't black in the original comic book. It was just the way that the black and white comic was colored, and she had a perm in some of the early issues. But yeah, people are using that as a defense. It's like, now they just race swapped her more recently.
But they've been. I mean, this isn't the first time she's been race swapped, so it's not like it's a surprise.
No, that actually, I was fully expecting it, because I believe with Nickelodeon owning the property now, that going forward, April O'Neil is always going to be young and black.
Right, because,
what they're going to do with
check
her.
Boxes. And, basically redheads and black people are the same thing. Ask Hollywood.
Pretty much, right?
No.
Pretty much. Now, the movie's coming out in China, and it's interesting. Someone's missing from the poster. Now, I don't know if they're making any changes to it in China or what, but that is what is being speculated here, that this version of April, if this is legit, and it looks legit, it doesn't, I mean, these are two boxes stacked on top of each other, and it looks to me like she's in the packaging.
Well, it'll be interesting to me to see if this figure just accidentally got slipped in, or if it's going to be like a lot more cases have this figure in it.
Yeah, I would. Well, yeah, because even the lipstick, she's got purple lipstick. But apparently, according to Tom Connors, if you go down here, he thinks that the person who sent the image speculated the variant maybe for another market.
But we don't know that.
We don't know that, but that would be really wow.
Yeah, we don't know if that's why. But what are the reasons would they have? Why would you have a different version of her?
Hey, we know they do all kinds of crazy stuff to appeal to China, and this is an animated movie. Animated movies usually do pretty well in China. However, there are certain things that they don't like in China. And unfortunately, we've seen a lot of cases, in the case of Disney, especially, where they've tried to minimize, African-American actors, black actors in productions.
On posters and things,
yes. On posters, we got to hide them, shrink them. How are they going
to change it for the whole movie, though?
Palette swap. I don't think they're going. I don't think they're going to. That would have leaked by now.
Then why release a toy over there at all? Or are they even release a toy over there?
I don't know. I just thought
but I'm sorry. No matter how frumpy you think she looks, that action figure looks so much better than the concept art.
Oh yeah. I mean,
if they had made her like the concept art, people would really riot.
I mean, the movie is stylized. Like, look, we haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it. I don't really have an interest in seeing it personally. I will give props to the animation. Direction on it. I think it looks really cool. It looks like claymation. I think it looks cool. But what threw me was that the turtles sounded like they were 9 years old.
Yeah, a couple of them do sound like,
what?
There's teenager and there's young, and a couple of them did sound young. Yeah, it was cool. I'm just like, look, now, she's chonky. So apparently if I go get this outfit, I can be the redhead version.
Sure. It's representation
I look terrible
matters.
in yellow, though. I look absolutely awful in yellow. So
I think you'll look good in yellow.
No.
We'll get you some big purple glasses and,
There you go.
But yeah, so the movie came out this weekend. It did pretty okay. Actually, it only had
I'm not surprised.
Had a $70 million budget. This is one that I really had no hope for because Seth Rogen was attached to it. I'm like, there's no way in hell this is going to be good. But people have seen it, said it's actually pretty decent. They said
I thought it looked pretty good. I mean, the art style I thought was pretty different.
Yeah, but it has made, I think it made like 23 million? No, it said 45 million by the end of the weekend.
That's not great.
3-day gross of 30 million. That's not fantastic. It's going to end up being, okay, hold on. What's a weekend now? Okay, per Deadline. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem box office has turned out a solid domestic opening gross. Given an extra boost by its midweek Wednesday release on August 2nd, the movie had a 3-day gross of 30 million, which will end up at 45 million by the end of the weekend. 30
million for a normal weekend, 45 when you add 2 extra days.
This means the movie will have already made back more than half of its $70 million budget.
30 million. It didn't make much more than Haunted Mansion.
But Haunted Mansion cost twice as much as this movie. So there's that too. And they'll probably sell, Blu-rays of it, I'm sure. And it's Paramount.
I do like this is still from, I do really like the art style on this.
The art style's, it's actually pretty good.
It reminds me of the 90s, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Like late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, that kind of fits. I like it actually.
They said that Mutant Mayhem will likely outgross the next lowest grossing outing in the franchise, Turtles 2 and TMNT. Well, that's a really low.
Yeah, but they're outgrossing those, not adjusted for inflation. They make sure they said it. It did better than one 30 years ago if you don't consider inflation.
Yeah,
really?
Of the original Turtles movie, the only one I consider canon is the first one. I love the first one. I thought it was at that point in time, it was one of the best comic book movies ever made. At that point in time, that was a long time ago, but I don't even watch the second and third one. I think they're terrible. And the Michael Bay ones, the first one was Second one was actually pretty okay. I didn't hate the second one. I don't like that they had lips though.
Yeah, the lips were a little weird.
It was a little weird, but every movie that they do now, they feel like they have to completely reinvent the wheel. They was going a different art style.
But it is really cool too, though, that they're bringing all the toys. Like they're doing the reissues of the originals and stuff like that. I think that's cool. They're another one that they can do several movies and animated shows and stuff, and they're still relevant.
Yeah.
So I'll give them credit for that.
So it is interesting because one thing I noticed about the turtle, I saw the new turtle figures at the store. And the one thing I noticed about them is the cost. They're $10 compared to Hasbro. If Hasbro were releasing Ninja Turtles instead of Playmates, they'd be $15, $20.
That's probably true.
But
how'd the figures look?
They look pretty good.
Yeah, because you could see them in the box, right?
You could. They weren't in a bubble.
Behind cardboard?
Yeah, you can see them in the box, and they actually look pretty decent. And they look like toys. They
For
did
kids, wow.
toys for kids. But so I don't know, guys. I mean, obviously they're going to keep going back to this well again because they paid a lot of money for Ninja Turtles, and they're just going to keep milking these turtles. I didn't know you can milk a turtle, but apparently you can milk a turtle. But it's doing okay. Not Spider-Verse money. I think a lot of people thought it was going to make Spider-Verse money.
No, I don't think it's going
No
to,
way in
which
hell.
is surprising, but it's not gonna.
Yeah, it's plus how many iterations of Ninja Turtles have we had in the
That's
last
true.
5 years, But I just thought this was really freaking interesting.
That is weird. I mean, they obviously clearly made a lighter skin version. They wouldn't
Yes.
just do one figure.
Yes.
So why?
I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen the movie. Maybe she disguises herself as a white woman
I don't think so.
at some point in time.
I don't think so.
Like they'll never guess it's me, April O'Neil, if I do whiteface.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that
The
happened.
kids movie. So there we go, guys. Just some more food for thought. It's got me scratch my head as to why they would do this, but
If you know,
if you know,
if you work for the toy company,
you
please
know.
let us know.
maybe they were just trolling. Like, yeah, we'll sneak a couple of white Aprils in there and see if anybody knows. I don't know. I'm gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.